around, see how many people are out here, and give yourselves a huge round of applause for coming up for this amazing event. My name is Otto Li. My Chinese name is Li Zhaoxiao. For those of you who speak Cantonese, is Lei Zhao Hiu. I'm honored to be an immigrant from Hong Kong, having served in the U.S. Navy, having served on the City Council in Sunnyvale. But I'm truly humbled and honored to say that I'm the first Chinese American serving on the Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors today. It is truly a historical moment for the San Jose City Council to finally adopt this resolution after 130 years to apologize to the Chinese immigrants and their descendants for the city's role in the burning of San Jose Chinatown. At that time, San Jose implemented discriminatory policies that allowed for the atrocious act like this to happen. And although it was the sign of the times, right, it did lay the foundation of the systematic and institutional racism that our country is unfortunately still fighting today. Yet, even with these barriers and disadvantages created by government from over 100 plus years ago, the Chinese American community still prevailed through the resiliency and continued contribution to our country that makes the world we live in a much better place. Let's not forget the Market Street Chinatown that burned in 1887. And there were also a handful of other Chinatowns that were destroyed by these groups of Americans who were motivated by fear and hate, as well as any change to our community. But that change has finally come, and we have made progress for the past 100 plus years following those fires. From being granted the basic citizenship rights, fundamental rights to vote, Chinese Americans, as well as the entire Asian American community, will finally legally recognized as full Americans in this country. However, to be treated like every American is still an ongoing struggle. Even though it's not as severe as the Chinese Exclusion Act, when anti-Chinese sentiment was high, the COVID-19 pandemic has reawakened that familiar fear and hate amongst Americans who wanted to scapegoat and target fellow Americans on the basis of how they look. For a pandemic, that has nothing to do with Chinese Americans. As the first Chinese American to serve, as I said, as a supervisor, I am not only proud, but I will make sure the needs and rights of every Chinese, every Asian American will absolutely be protected and never, ever be forgotten. I believe today is a small step of moving forward to help diminish and eliminate hate and injustice throughout America. And I want to first of all thank Mayor Liccardo, Councilman Raul Perales, and your entire City Council for taking on this important historical step to apologize to Chinese Americans. And yes, apology accepted, but moreover, let's not forget there are still situations where professors like Dr. Wen-Ho Lee is still suffering with all the different type of prosecution from the FBI. And also the issue of Asian hate is still very, very new in our own towns. And we need to make sure that we stand by for each other, making sure that our rights are protected, and make sure everybody is going to be treated equal. Thank you very, very much for being here. 谢谢 everybody.